Okay, so this is a video on how I'm dealing with my sliding glass door being sticking. This is only a probably 2-year-old door I got at Lowe's. I think it's a gelled one, their brand is, I think, Thermstar. It's a yellow label. Anyway, this is standard size, and what's happening is I took the door off the track because I thought this wasn't sliding. It would go about halfway, and then it would stick. It's not preventing you from opening, but at least it was a problem. So it's a rainy Saturday, so might as well do something that's worthwhile here and try to figure it out. So I took a level to you can see that the whole track is level. This 4-foot level shows, and I set it on this metal. There's a metal track right here. It's just a rod, and that rod is what these wheels inside the door sit on, and the whole thing is supposed to run back and forth nice and smooth. You can tell that, let's see here, that one of these spins very smoothly, and then the other one, you know, actually hardly at all. It sounds like there's just a lot of grease, or if there's it's just too tight inside there, and it's not rubbing on the edges, you know, on these flanges that hold it on. I don't know if the rivet is too tight, but lubed it up with some T9 bow shield. It's what I use on everything. It's a Teflon based. You know, get into everything. Teflon never dissipates on good and bad, but it's quite a good lubricant. And I sprayed the whole bottom of that track after I cleaned it with sucked out all the dirt and then used a damp rag and sucked all the stuff up, and then I went over with paint thinner, a rag with paint thinner, to clear off all the old grease that was set on here, as well as these. These were covered in, even after 2 years, they were covered in this black film that came out. You can still see remnants of it sometimes. Maybe on this one's a little better. It's tough to see, but so I checked for level. This is level. These are square. When I put it in, it's not a function of the door being out of level or plumb. It seems to be the wheels. They're just not terrific. You can see this one kind of spins, and this one really spins. And there's two up there. There's one up there, and there's one down here, and they're held in. I'll show you the top one. They're held in like this. Let's see if I turn the light on. There we go. There's just a captive nut at the end of this bolt. It's terrible to see, but it's the rod, the screw has a chamfer on the end of it, so it prevents you from actually unscrewing the whole thing out. You can still do it. That's how I took it off. You just have to apply more pressure, but the screw is supposed to allow it to put it against the backdrop. Maybe it won't. Yeah, this is terrible. But somebody will focus here. I don't know if you can. There's a chamfer. Anyway, there's a chamfer on the bolt. No big deal, and it keeps the nut from backing out the whole assembly. But I wanted to take the assembly off to see if there's anything binding in here, and there's nothing in here. It's just a channel of vinyl to hold the wheel assembly in place, just like that. So I moved it all up, and I'm going to see if I can make this spin a little bit more freely. But this little guy, it doesn't seem like that is the biggest culprit, but short of it being level, lubing up this, cleaning it all apart, cleaning the track and lubing it up, that's what I'm going to do, and put it all back together to make sure it slides. It's not going to slide as easy as, like, you know, I think it should. Like, I put several pocket doors in, and pocket doors are very similar. They have a rail, or they sit in a channel, and they have a wheel. It doesn't have a it doesn't have this cup to it. It's the opposite. It's convex, I guess, than concave. And that slides just fine. And this bow shield I spray in all my pocket doors, and that stuff glides so fast. Actually, you have to be careful because guests will come over and throw the door open, and it's because it's a light, masonite door, and it'll go hit in the back of the bumper in the wall. So you have to be careful with that. But this, it might be just the weight of the glass, and then some friction being built up here. So I'm going to try to alleviate that as much as possible, and keep this track clean, and try to take out all the variables. I keep it from just really, you use your one hand, you can throw it all the way open. What happens is about here, it starts to rub. It starts to feel like you take more pressure, more force to open the door. So that's how I'm going to fix it, and I'll put it all back together, and let's check it out. Okay, so what I did was clean up all the wheels. Like I said, clean out this track as well as I could. It looks, and I lubed it with that bow shield. Put the wheels back in and then adjusted them all the way up to the top. And then when I open the door, it's pretty, it's a good amount of force to throw that. It's not super easy, I guess. And it's no fun when you got a plate full of barbecue stuff at the grill and you're coming in trying to throw this open. So it's better than it was, but I think the main reasons why it causes so much friction is that it's these guys right here, these bristles. These are weather stripping. On my old sliding glass door, those are pretty much non-existent, and they run the whole length of the door. And as that rubs against that vinyl, as those two things rub against each other, it's just like a big long break. So it's easy. The first half, your force, pushes the door, but the rest of it is just as, I believe it's this break up here. I mean, it's a weather stripping, and then there's one up top. So it's like a giant long break that slows it down mainly. These are so new and not crushed yet that I think that's the main reason why I can't. It's not like your sliding pocket door where it's just metal on metal. These have this little guy, and every time he rubs past this as he goes by, he's slowing it down. So, and it's top and bottom. There's one up there too, and it runs the whole length. So there's no really way to lubricate these bristles, up top here, unfortunately. So what I did was I took some more lubricant and just put it up here along the whole edge. It's just, put it on a paper towel and wiped it on, and then on the back side as well, just for anything that touches. But it is much easier to close. It's just not going to be, it's probably going to take more than like a 5-year-old to open with one hand. It'll take a little bit longer. So check yours. Maybe yours is dirty like mine was, and the wheels aren't as sturdy. I'd look for better wheels. If I bought another sliding glass door, I'd really, maybe if it was on the setup on the, in the store, spin all the wheels with your hand freely, and then of course open and close it. They always have one that's set open, but look, when you open and close it, look for that weather seal and see if it's there or not. Because it seemed like it was a lot easier in the store to open and close at Lowe's than it was when we put it in. And I really thought it was unlevel here, and I just, if that's unlevel, then the whole thing, it's going to be hard to open. It's like going uphill, or, but it's not. And I cleaned up everything, so it is easier. Maybe you might have that same problem too, and hopefully this will help. Thanks.